The Federal Reserve engages in considerable market activity. They buy and sell. I do believe that it is important in our society that be made public.
The bill is gaining bipartisan momentum. Co-sponsorship is at about 300 members of the 435-member House, including all of the Republicans and even a significant number of Democrats. WorldNet Daily reported that the Federal Reserve continues to operate in secrecy, despite being ordered to disclose to whom it awarded some $2 trillion in discount stimulus loans. Bloomberg News continues to try to get the Federal Reserve to disclose details of the government's emergency funding of banks. It wants the identities of the financial institutions that received emergency funding, the amounts, and the types of collateral posted in exchange for the infusion to be revealed. WND also reported that the Fed claims economic stability would be further compromised if certain information were exposed. The Fed claims the ability to effectively manage the current and future financial crisis would be impaired by releasing the information, and significant harms could befall the U.S. economy as disclosure might unsettle shareholders and set off a run on the borrowing banks by worried depositors. Bloomberg News claims those are speculations that fall short of the Freedom of Information Act's requirement that the government show substantial evidence that real harm would result. Tom Woods, best-selling author of the book Meltdown, says whether Ron Paul's audit bill passes or not, the end result is greater awareness.
If the 1207 passes, which is the bill to audit the Fed, then he gets what he wants. But if it doesn't pass, then it arouses more interest and more suspicion among the public. I mean, the general public knows almost nothing about the Fed, but 75% of them say they want it audited, simply on the common sense grounds that, well, why wouldn't I want it audited? But when suddenly you hear a presidential candidate who ran on change we can believe in, and then suddenly he becomes president, and all we want to do is audit, the institution that creates the money, and he says, no, I don't think we want to do that, well, people are going to wonder, what kind of crummy change is this? This is just the same stupid, pathetic status quo. It just raises further suspicions. So there'll be even more intense pressure the next time around. So it seems to me inevitable that the dam is going to burst ultimately.
Wood says if the audit does happen, a lot of important information could be revealed.
Part of the answer is we can't know until we do it, because it's never really been done. A lot of times people will say, I don't understand this bill. I mean, the Fed is already subject to an audit. Well, if it were really subject to a full audit, why are all the Fed officials in complete hysteria about this bill? Why wouldn't they just say, well, it's superfluous and redundant, right? So what you could find, any variety of things. You could find the Fed could be buying bank stocks to push them up, secretly. It could be, there are all kinds of deals we don't know about with foreign governments and foreign central banks. We could well find, and this is in no way a conspiracy theory or in any way unreasonable or not to be expected, we could find the Fed has some connection with the CIA. Where's all the money coming from for all the phony elections the CIA is cooking up around the world? You could very easily find a connection with the Fed there. And so I think if it were just a matter of, they forgot to carry a one somewhere, you wouldn't see the look of sheer terror in the eyes of Bernanke and even Geithner, who's in Treasury, he's not even in the Fed. Something is up here. Something is fishy. People don't act like this if they have nothing to hide. They just don't.